Hey everyone, so we are hopefully coming out of lockdown soon, at least here in the UK, and I have mixed emotions on this. Obviously lots of positive ones, lots of excitement, but also some fears, I guess, for want of a better word, about some of the great things that I have experienced during this time of, contemplation and peace. And so I just wanted to share this mixed bag of feelings in the hope that it might be useful for you if you're experiencing something similar. So obviously, first of all, this is great news. This is really exciting that we're hopefully going to be able to return to as much as normal as we possibly can do. So that is obviously an exciting time for everyone. I am obviously feeling really positive about that. I'm really excited to be able to see my family, see my friends when I want without worrying about things. But there's also, a lot of changes, I guess, that we need to get used to again as human beings who have been trapped in, and then to suddenly be released. It's okay to feel a bit confused, a bit unsure of things. I know that I certainly have enjoyed having more time to myself, and whilst of course it has been very, very challenging, I've kind of enjoyed stretching myself in that way. I've really enjoyed going into those dark corners of myself and kind of figuring out, why am I feeling this way, and digging into it and really finding new ways to cope and really seeing it as a challenge and an opportunity to grow. And of course, that is said with great privilege. I have not experienced any of the negatives of this situation. My family are fine, my friends are fine, everyone's fine. I don't have anything to be worried about when it comes to this. So I'm just talking completely from a, being locked in perspective. As I leave this phase, I just wanted to create the space to really just record some of the things that I've enjoyed and some of the things that I want to carry on even when life gets back to normal, inverted commas. And some of those things will be making sure that I'm at the top of the list. I think this is easier said than done when we live the lives that we do. But one of the things that I've found from this time is just great freedom to do what I want to do. And of course, that's been limited. If I've wanted to go out for food or if I've wanted to go and see people, I haven't been able to do that. But I have been able to wake up on a Saturday morning and bake granola and try out new recipes and find the time to read and do all these things that I wouldn't necessarily always have the time to do because you're pulled in various different directions, particularly at weekends. You've got these friends to see, this family to see, someone's birthday, someone's wedding. You've got all these kind of social engagements that kind of come with being a person with a social circle. And so whilst of course I've missed that social interaction, I haven't missed feeling like I had no time for myself. That's been one of the great benefits of this whole experience and this time, is really feeling like if I want to do something, I can do it. And so with this, it's about feeling okay with not being, about having those niggling feelings yay, we get to come out of lockdown, but oh my God, how am I ever gonna find time to do all these things again? It's okay to feel both. Maybe it's just me that feels this way, but I'm hoping that this will help you if you're also feeling that reluctance, I guess is the word, that kind of pushback of feeling like I am so excited to get back out there, but then also I'm really not okay with losing these aspects that I've really enjoyed. And it's okay to feel both. For those of us who haven't had the negative stuff happening to us, we've just kind of been trapped in, then it is okay to kind of have enjoyed those new spaces and to enjoy those new hobbies and to enjoy that extra freedom in a different way. And for me, another great benefit has been rediscovering nature as well, and just really prioritizing that, because that's all we've been able to do. I've discovered so many new amazing places around me, so many new walks and so many just magical places that I wouldn't have reached or I wouldn't have had the time to explore had I been off doing all these various social engagements at the weekend. So taking those things with you. So that's definitely another thing that I'm going to be taking away with me and making sure that I keep that space and I keep that time. So this is all well and good, kind of thinking that you want to take this with you and you want to keep this space and time for you. But if you're anything like me, your diary is already filling up with people and things and various social engagements that people need you at from July onwards or whenever it is. And what I'm trying to do already is book in spaces for just nothing. And I think this is something that if you're also feeling this way, I would highly advise that you do this, so that when you don't get back out there, you're also potentially working and back in an office space and surrounded by people again. And then at the weekend, you're also surrounded by people. Just make sure that perhaps maybe one weekend in 4 or one weekend in 2, however much space you feel that you need, you're keeping that just for you, to retain that tranquility and that peace and that space that you've perhaps found during this lockdown period. So whether that is a weekend just to walk in nature, whether that is a weekend to wake up early with the sunrise and read all day, or whether that's a weekend to just see what happens. Because that's another thing that I've enjoyed, is just waking up and being like, I don't know what I'm going to do today. We'll see what happens. I can make that decision. And so that's one of the things that I'm trying to do, is just make sure that I've got that space in my weekend schedule, because obviously I'm working in the week, to just retain some of that freedom and just making sure that I've still got time to put myself first and do the things that I want to do as well, which is definitely easier said than done, but something I really, really want to try and stick to. Because, I think the social guilt is real. I think we all have extended family and lots of friends and things that we want to see. And of course, I'm not saying, oh, I've got the hiccups now. I'm not saying that you can't see these people ever again. What I mean is, like, it's okay to not have that guilt about saying no to something and needing that space. It's okay to be like, you know what, I am technically free that weekend, but I'm trying this new thing where oh god, I've got to stop hiccuping. I'm trying this new thing where I keep one weekend out of 4 that's just for me, and that's my 1 out of 4. And unless it's like your best friend's wedding or something, like I'm sure they'd understand if you just explain that. And I think it's quite a good thing as well to help others to not feel that guilt. Because I think in you saying, I am making time for myself, I am doing this is my self-care thing, this is what I need to do in order to be okay, that encourages other people to do the same. I know that if one of my friends said that to me, I'd be like, that's cool. I'm trying to do that as well. So like, let's match weekends, and then we both know that we're not free that weekend or whatever. Like, maybe there's something that you could do there. So yeah, so being okay and not feeling guilty about wanting that space. It is completely natural to want that space, particularly coming out of just having had a lot of that space. It's okay to want to meet with people and still feel like, actually, I still need a weekend that's free. Now we know that this is potentially going to be what will keep happening. We're going to be in lockdown, out of lockdown, in lockdown, out of lockdown. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see that potentially changing in the future. What we might find ourselves doing is like, oh shit, like we're free, like quickly see everyone all at once, like in the weekends. And so that's certainly okay to do that. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. Like, I'm not saying don't do that, but I'm just saying that it's okay to also retain some of that free space for yourself and just keep some time back for you, and not feel like you have to fit every single social engagement under the sun into every single weekend, and every waking second that you have has to be seeing people in case that gets taken away from you again. I think it's perfectly valid to feel that way, but we have to remember that this is about balance, and you'll just kind of get burnt out socially if you don't have any time built in for yourself. So even if it's just a small thing, I think just keeping some space back for you and being okay with that is what I'm trying to say between hiccuping. So yeah, so I don't know if that is useful. I hope it is. I guess I just wanted to share my thoughts in case anyone was feeling like that and kind of feeling guilty over feeling a bit like, oh, I'm excited, but I also don't want to lose these things. God, I've still got the hiccups. If you're feeling that way, don't feel bad for feeling that way. It's completely normal. It's completely understandable. And we are allowed to have great excitement and also uncertainty around what this will look like and what this will mean for our new lives, because we found new patterns, we've adapted, we've changed, we've evolved, and we've grown, and all of those things are okay. So as you emerge out the other side of this space, just being grateful for all that you've learned and being okay with with changing, you know. I think we're all coming out of this different, in different ways, and for some of us as well, like, we have changed and grown. I certainly know that I have changed and grown because I have been forced to, you know. You've got nothing else to do but do all that kind of internal work. It's okay to want new things and to potentially want to change jobs, potentially want to live in a field, you know, whatever. It's okay to have all those emotions, and to also not forget those as we get swept back up into daily life, as it were, you know, just keeping that stuff with you as best as you can. And yeah, just taking those positives with you as well, because it's certainly been a wild ride, it's been a challenge, but there's also been great blessings mixed up in all of this as well, and I hope that's the same for you too. So I'll see you soon.